Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to 8 House Things. Welcome to your April reading. We are in Taurus season now. Lots of energies that are heavy. So I hope you are staying sane. I hope you're spending a lot of time outside. I hope you're keeping a positive energy in and around you and protecting yourself as well. It's just, we're in a very, it's like an influx. Like there's a lot of people who will come in and out and demand a lot of you. So just make sure you're keeping yourself sane before you allow it to consume you, because the energies are very heavy. I want 4 cards for you. I'm going to do one last shuffle, then we do 4 cards please for Sag. 4 cards please for Sagittarius. 4 cards please for Sagittarius. Let's go. Oh, the Page of Wands in reverse, the 4 of Coins, the Page of Cups, and then the Hanged One. So I just heard the adventure stops here or the ride stops here, or the journey stops here. That's what I just heard. And it seems as though you kind of want to take stock of where you're at before any other surprises come at you. And it's interesting because the Page of Wands, your energy coming out so strong with the first card is telling me that it's not necessarily you feeling frustrated. It's more you kind of like, let me slow down for a second and see where I'm at before any other surprises come out of nowhere. And I think it's because you're recognizing that you're taking the L and taking losses. You're taking a few losses that you don't need to. Or you have been taking a few losses that you don't need to. You're also putting it's like you've put yourself on the line. And not only are you understanding that, you're trying to stop it before any other events pop up out of nowhere that put you in a position where you have to keep doing this. And so with the Hanged One being in reverse, it's like you're trying to find your feet. You're trying to find your feet. And that makes sense to me, Sag, because you don't want to wring yourself dry. Right? You don't want to exhaust your resources. It's like, it feels like your resources are being exhausted and not necessarily by you. And it's like, okay, look, this nonsense, this road that we've been on or that I've been on stops here. And it's a firm stop of like, okay, I need to take stock of where I'm at because I feel like I'm overexerting myself. And Page of Cups is telling me it's not just material things, but the 4 of Coins is telling me it is the things that are in the 3D that mean important, that have meaning to you, that are important to you. And so it's like, okay, no more surprises that put me in a position where I'm being sucked dry, where my resources are being exhausted. I just keep hearing the word resources, and that's both the physical resource, the more tangible things, as well as your internal line of resources, the things that drive you internally, your mental state, your emotional well-being. That's a source of resources, I suppose, right? So, Sag, it's a good thing that you've made the decision. With the Page of Wands being in reverse, it's you. Your energy is saying, whoa, what's going on here? It's like, I didn't sign up for a runaway train of and a runaway train is doing just that, right? It's exhausting its own resources and going nowhere. Well, like, what's its destination? You know? So, Sag, it's interesting that the message has come out this clear, and I'm fascinated. It feels like I mustn't pull more cards, but it's also like my duty to, because it feels like this message is very short and sweet and strong. Let's not exhaust our own resources. Let's not use up the tank and fill it up to only be used by someone else, or to get used up by other aspects or other elements that don't serve us. Right? It's about protecting yourself, protecting what you've earned. The Four of Coins card is like, literally, I think it's like the court jester is selfishly hogging his pentacles, his coins. And sometimes you do have to be selfish, but in a situation like this, Sag, it's imperative that you take care of your resources, take care of the things you've earned, because the way it's coming across with the Four of Coins, he's coming across to me as though, look, this is rightfully mine, I earned it, and for some reason I'm feeling like I need to protect it, and that's what I'm going to do. Ooh, the Lovers card, the Chariot card, Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Moon card. I did not expect such heavy major arcana cards coming out for you. And if you're slowing down one thing, something else is speeding up. And I think it has to do with you. It has to do with you being by doing this and by slowing down and by taking control of your resources. That action of slowing that side down is speeding up the process that you need to get to in order to feel fulfilled in yourself. It's time to really embody and capture what the Queen of Swords represents. And at her best, she knows who she is. At her best, she leads. The Queen of Swords is cool, calm, and collected at her best. And at her worst, she's harsh and judgmental and brash and cold. And you're gonna, wow, actually, Sag, you're on the fast track to understanding who you are and understanding your worth and what you bring to the table. And it all has to do with self-love. And whomever or whatever was draining your resources, which is something that you've put a stop to, or that you're about to put a stop to, you're coming to the understanding that that person is the Queen of Swords. Yes, that's what's coming through. So I take back what I just said. No, that was not correct. What it's saying and what I'm seeing is that the Queen of Swords in reverse has been illuminated. You are seeing, you have found out what that is or who that is. And that is the thing or the person that has put you in a position where you feel like you're not abundant. And so you had to put a stop to that. And by doing so, you're on the fast track to self-love. And it's all because you're understanding that the person who was draining you of your resources or taking from you is unkind, uncaring, aloof. Their truest nature is is just judgmental, harsh, and just not a vibe, just not the person you should be around at all, Sag. I hope I'm making myself clear, because for a second there, the cards came out as though that spread was about you, and it was like, oh, actually, that's why the Lovers card came out next to the Chariot. That's your energy. And then the Queen of Swords in reverse, illuminated by the moon, which means that you've come to find out the truth through your own investigations, through your own intuition. That's the person or the thing that's put you in a position where you're actually seeing things for what they are, and you're stopping it right now, and you're putting a stop to it. And that's self-love. That's understanding who you are, and that you're not going to be taken advantage of ever again. That's what this reading is about. You are not going to be taken advantage of again by someone who is malicious, whose point of view seems to always be canon. Why? You know? And the Lovers card also, to me, represents you finally taking back your autonomy. You finally asserting yourself as an individual. And it's interesting that the Chariot card is right next to the Queen of Swords, because this illustration, it's a man who seems very noble, very honorable, and he's right next to a queen who fancies herself a god, just a little princess. That's who she really is in this context, in this reading. So I'm glad that you're seeing this person for what it is. I'm glad that you're putting a stop to it, Sagittarius. And I'm glad that you're doing it quickly, because you have to. I wish you nothing but the best, Sag, and I'll see you next month.